Hello again. Yeah, currently not at home. A couple weeks ago, I was in Astoria, Oregon, reliving my childhood dream right there when Saturn re entered Pisces, searching around for One Eyed Willie, the house, the prison, doing the truffle shuffle, having the time of my life there. Then, after that, we were traveling around the Pacific Northwest Peninsula, and we're in Forks, Washington, which, if you know, that is the setting of Twilight, the book and film. And now I am currently in the setting, the filming location, and setting for Eat, Pray, Love. Yeah, this is a rice field in Ubud, Bali. And the funniest thing about those three in combination, there's some sort of synchronicity that's just a little bit above my pay grade. I'm still trying to figure it out. But Goonies 40th anniversary, 1985 was when it was made, and they're making a new movie. They're coming out with a sequel finally. Whoever that was going to be like, who knows. And Twilight, I just found out, is its 20-year anniversary of its release. They're making a new movie. And Eat, Pray, Love, written by Elizabeth Gilbert, the beginning and end of their story, the love part, takes place here in Ubud. And the person that she falls in love with at the end, she just wrote a new memoir about the person she left that guy for. So just came out like last week or something. So there's so much strange synchronicity with these places I'm randomly, literally kind of randomly, I mean, you might think, how are you randomly there? Was not planned. Believe me, my control systems have been offline. And I am so grateful for astrology, because knowing that this is a time for releasing fear, control, and surrendering to experience, it's been pretty valuable. I know that I'm blessed. I know that this is not a normal experience. Not a normal experience for me either. I mean, look at this. I'm just like in a random situation, and here's a waterfall down here, a ravine, and one of many, many temples that are just here on the grounds of the place that I'm staying. Bali is the perfect example of, especially this spot right here with the rice fields, the perfect example of the combination of spirituality and materiality. Rice requires precision. It needs to be managed in a certain way. It's consistent. There's a huge harvest. There's constant, like rice that never stops. It's a very good Virgo analogy. And the people that work this field, they do it in the old way. They do it with a sickle. They do it by hand. They burn fields so that new things can grow, and they can create the carbon that it needs. And it has to have, you know, certain things that is done in a certain way. It's very Virgo. And then right here, to balance it out, everywhere you look, there's offering, there's ritual, there's ceremony, there's respect for divinity and all kinds of divinity. The individuation of divinity is even applied here. So honestly, I'm just trying to figure it all out. I'm not sharing any specific astrology, obviously, but more of a mono astrology, which is what's going on overarching, and filtering into an individuation path, which is what is my experience, and sharing that with you. So, big openings, big beginnings, and big endings. That's what the eclipse cycle is all about. And when it hits your own nodes, a reversal, even more interesting, I think, is the reversal. Just get ready. Get ready for some big, expansive shift in your life. Unexpected things also happening. While I was here yesterday, I had really bad news from home. If you have ever had a dog and loved that dog so much, and they when they leave you, my mom just let me know, my dog of almost 9 years, my own dog, like my first own dog, she passed away 2 days ago while I was here, and she was fine when I left. Nothing was wrong with her, and I'm shocked about it. I'm heartbroken about it. I don't know what to think or do. It's wild because I was contemplating her age and her birth, and she also would have been a Virgo Pisces, opposites. She would have been the same, yeah, as me. So she's gone, and I can't quite process it. It'll hit me, I know, when I get home and my girl won't be there. Another control, right? Release of control, like that's something I should have been there for. And I'm not there. I'm not home. I'm here. So processing that. And then I went to this energy healer guy the same day. I found out about my dog, and then I went to this energy healer guy because that's what you do when you're in Bali. You gotta go do the whole experience, right? So went to this healer chakra dude and energy stuff. And he did his flow or whatever, and then was asking questions, and roundabout, long story short, too late, we started talking about what I do and astrology, and then the whole thing shifted. He shifted from being like authority to being an equal. It was very odd, and because I was talking about the application of the natal chart and astrology and the planets onto the chakras, and this concept that I'm thinking about. Whereas, when you get thinking about and talking about energy centers, and if they're overactive or underactive, or quote unquote blocked or whatever, if you could know how to apply your own astrology to it, then you have a plan, then you have a process. You can start working through it. Anyway, it was very interesting because he didn't know a lot about astrology, and he wants to know a lot about astrology. He wants to know astrology and how you can apply it. But the next thing that happened is he just said, you don't need these things. You don't need what I can do. You need to learn what I can do. And so he spent the whole rest of the time teaching me teaching me how to do his energy healing and checking chakras and checking flow, and totally could not have predicted that in a million years. So I'm really contemplating what the next step is. What am I going to be doing with this information? Because I think it could be really valuable, really relevant as far as individuating chakras even, and understanding how to work with it on your own individual way instead of applying some blanket. It's like putting a band-aid on something that has no need for a band-aid. It's you have to apply something specific to an individual. I mean, if you look around here, there's about a trillion different kinds of plants. They're all plants. Yep, they're all plants or bugs, whatever. But they require different things. They express differently. Some have short leaves, some have big leaves, some are human eaters, some are not. In the jungle, what can you do? So anyway, that's sort of what I'm thinking about. And then the last thing I wanted to say is that I'm also getting ready for a big talk when I get back home at the San Diego Astrological Society, and it's about Uranus. It's the Uranus time-based transits that we all go through in our 20s, our 40s, our 60s, our 80s, and the authenticity path that provides us. Authenticity is way more important than anybody really gives it credit for. I think it's the key to true happiness. And understanding that you maybe need to take some risks, you need to be uncomfortable, rebel against something in order to get to that authentic place. Do things that are wild and strange and true to you, and it may be not true to someone else. It's a big deal. Anyways, that will be October 10th. if you're interested, I think they're going to also put it on Zoom, so I'll put more information about that later when I can. All right, I think that's it for now. I like you just the way you are, so does this guy. And I'll talk to you soon.